Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are diving deep into how you can create some truly jaw-dropping AI-generated videos. And look, this isn't just about writing a slightly better text prompt. It's about changing how you think, learning to write and direct like a real cinematographer.
So you've probably seen AI videos popping up literally everywhere, right? But have you ever stopped to notice how some of them look, well, kind of flat, almost lifeless, while others feel like they've been pulled straight out of a Hollywood movie? The difference isn't the AI model, it's the person directing it. It all boils down to the prompt. A vague idea gets you a vague result. A cinematic vision, though, that gets you something truly special.
So what's the secret? How do we actually make that leap? How do you get from just a simple description to a scene that's vivid, emotional, and really grabs an audience? Well, the answer is all about understanding the fundamentals of filmmaking. Okay, let's dive in.
You know, at its heart, this tech is a total game changer. It's like having a virtual production studio right at your fingertips. Something that used to need huge crews and massive budgets is now accessible to, well, pretty much anyone. But here's the catch. With all that power comes a new kind of responsibility. The AI does the heavy lifting, sure, but the final quality? That depends almost entirely on you, the director.
And wow, the landscape of tools out there is just packed with incredible options, each with its own special talent. You've got Halo, which is fantastic for that super lifelike character motion. Then there's Runway, which just excels at that high-end, polished look you'd see in commercials. Pika, perfect for creating quick, super eye-catching stuff for social media. But here's the thing, it doesn't matter which one you pick. They all need one thing, a great director. And guess what? That director is you.
Okay, so how do you actually give that direction? The secret isn't some complicated programming trick. It's about learning a brand new language, the language of cinema, which, by the way, has been built and refined for over 100 years. If you want to get what's in your head out of the AI, you have to stop just telling it what to do and start directing it.
All right, let's start with the absolute basics. Shot types. Think of these as your core vocabulary. A wide shot, that's your opening statement. It tells the audience, hey, here's where we are, and gives a sense of scale. Psychologically, it kind of puts you, the viewer, at a distance, giving you all the context before we zoom in and get personal.
Okay, now let's move in a little closer with the medium shot. This is pretty much the workhorse of filmmaking. It shows a character from around the waist up, giving you this perfect balance between what they're doing and the world they're in. It's fantastic for conversations because it just feels more personal. You know, it brings us that much closer to the characters.
And then, the close-up. This right here is the key to emotion. By focusing completely on a character's face, you're creating this direct, intimate connection with the audience. A tiny little glance, a subtle frown, that can say more than a whole page of dialogue. A close-up forces the audience to feel what the character is feeling. This is where the heart of your story really starts to beat.
Okay, so we have our shots. Now let's add some life to them with movement. A static frame is fine, but camera movement, that adds energy, and it tells the viewer's eye exactly where to look. A dolly in, where the camera literally moves closer, that ramps up the intensity. A tracking shot follows a character, and bam, you're right there in the action with them. A crane shot moving up or down can reveal a scene with this incredible sense of grandeur. And even a simple pan or tilt can follow action or reveal something new. The point is, every single movement has a purpose.
So if camera work is the language, then lighting is the soul. It completely dictates the mood of a scene. Take high-key lighting. It's bright, it's even, there are very few shadows. It just feels optimistic, cheerful. It's basically telling the viewer, hey, no secrets here, creating this feeling of safety or transparency. And then you have the complete opposite, low-key lighting. This is the bread and butter of film noir and thrillers. By using these deep, dramatic shadows and really high contrast, you instantly create a world full of suspense and mystery. Those shadows are telling the audience that things are being hidden, that something important, maybe even dangerous, is lurking just out of sight.
And then there's color. Color literally sets the emotional temperature of your scene. Warm colors, think reds, oranges, yellows, they can feel super passionate or nostalgic, kind of like that perfect golden hour sunset. Then you've got cool colors, your blues and purples, which can create a sense of calm or mystery or even melancholy. Your color palette is this powerful subconscious signal you're sending to your audience.
Okay, so we've got all these amazing cinematic ingredients, right? Shot types, camera moves, lighting, color. So how do we actually put them all together? Well, it's time to assemble them into a structured prompt that's going to act like a super precise blueprint for our AI director.
Now this is absolutely crucial. You've got to follow a clear structure. Start with your subject, then describe the setting, and be really specific about the action. And then you start layering on all that cinematic direction we just talked about. What is the camera doing? How is the scene lit? What's the color palette look like? See, by giving these super comprehensive instructions, you're not leaving anything up to chance. You're taking control.
All right, now for the real payoff. Let's circle all the way back to that very first example we looked at and see the incredible transformation when we apply this blueprint.
Just look at the difference. Can you see it? The vague prompt, it's just an action. A woman walks across a room. But the cinematic prompt, that's a story. It has a character with a real motivation, a specific setting, a mood that's created by light and shadow, and a camera that's an active part of the scene. It doesn't just describe what's happening, it directs a performance and builds an entire world from scratch.
So as you start writing your own amazing prompts, here are just a few common pitfalls to watch out for. Try to avoid being vague, saying things like, a beautiful scene. You have to define why it's beautiful. Be really clear about your style instead of mashing contradictory terms together. And please, never ever just ask for good camera work. Tell the AI exactly what you want the camera to do. This is all about making sure your vision gets translated perfectly.
So there you have it. You now have the foundational toolkit of a cinematographer. You've got the vocabulary of shots, of movement, of light and color. The technology, it's ready and it's waiting for your instructions. The language is now yours to command. So the only question left is this: what story will you tell?